Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Angry Ice Cube. This is Misty, and we're doing another tour of Norath. This one it's gonna be focusing on the sinking sands, also known as the Desert of Ro. This was the second. No, I'm sorry. This was the first expansion. Um, it added the Desert of Ro. Here, I'll show you the map. Behold, the Desert of Ro. This whole thing is the Desert of Ro, obviously. This reddish orange area is kind of like the Thundering Steps version of the Sinking Sands. Sinking Sands, mostly sand with some rock. Pillars of Flame, mostly rock with some sand. And it's, Pillars of Flame, hence the red color. And this lovely little bubble of happiness is the city Majdoul. There it is. You can see the Tower of the Moon and then the various guard towers around the city. Yeah, I'm currently in the Twin Tiers pair of there's a Gnoll oasis and there is a Lizardman oasis. All right, Twin Tiers because water. Anyways, let's head back to the carpet dude right here and head over to where you zone in when you first come to the zone. Port of Tears. Take a look at the map here. Twin Tiers, Camp de Sass, it's right on the zone in line. The Undercity Arena, it's right underneath the city. This, of course, being the city. One Rock Isle, it's a isle of one rock, I guess. And Port of Tears. That's where we're going. Taking the magic carpet. There is a quest here you can do to get a magic carpet mount like this one. It's actually very close to the zone in, so we're heading that way. In fact, that's where it culminates on this little island right here, or not island, whatever you call it, spire. Big theme of this zone is undeath. There's a reason for that. This was the site of an ancient civilization of elves, the Suldal elves. Something happened and they're gone now. Their city was swallowed up by sand, the stilled sea. That's what most of this area is referred to as, the stilled sea. So anyways, this is where you zone in. You'll zone in right on top of the Port of Tears. These guys will take you to Velius. Whoa, my keyboard's freaking out. Thank you, keyboard. That's Lodazal? Here, let's ask this guy. He'll tell us. What's that dude's name? It is Lodazal. All right, Lodazal. Or Lodazal or something like that. Anyways, he's a giant, like, spiky turtle thing. He's just chilling, doing his thing. Notice here, let's go look at them from the front. These are kind of cool. It's a pair of cobras. Kind of like that. No, I don't kind of like it. I do like it. Check it out. They got their little glowing eyes and stuff. It's a very Egyptian, Nile kind of feel to this zone. That up there is the Shimmering Citadel. That's the what's his name? The Jinn Master's domain. Yeah. So I mean, we have Jinn. There are dragons here. We have a city which you can't quite see from here, but well, actually you can. You can just barely, that little, where my mouse is pointing, that little lip there, that's actually kind of like an airship dock, sort of. It's not actually an airship dock, but it's where the magic carpet down there, that tent takes you. Anyways, we're not going to do Majdoul today. We're just going to focus on the sinking sands. Out here we have some islands. There's some undead on that island over there with some mimics. This one is a island of sirens. In fact, I can just barely make one out there. A coastal caller. That island over there has more dervishes on it, all around the base of it. See, sirens. What's up, sirens? Hole Crasher Rock, because you know how the sirens would cause sailors to crash against the rocks with their entrancing song. Yeah, so Hole Crasher Rock. One Rock Isle is that one down there. So yeah, it's like one big rock. There's the beach. All along that beach are dervishes, much like this one here. Dervishes are just like pirates and such. let's see. Right there where those palm trees are is a druid ring. So let's start our adventure there. Wondering why I'm on Misty. Well, you know, she sent me a message earlier and said, "Hey, could you like, you know, play me instead of Rose? Because you know you're favoritism, dude. Favoritism." I was like, "It's cool. It's cool. I don't want her to hard punch me in the face. She would too. She'd hard touch me right in the face." I was watching an anime. It's called Log Horizon. It reminds me of EQ2 actually. It's about, you know, it's kind of like Sword Art. If you know anything about Sword Art, it's a bunch of people get trapped in a virtual world. It's the same kind of vein, but this one is more about their experiences in that world, whereas Sword Art, what happens in that world is kind of a side story. It's important to the story, but mainly because the series itself is dealing with the social ramifications of having been trapped in that world. Where, you know, again, so this one, that Sword Art's the after effects. This one is actually coming to grips with your world being changed so drastically. I mean, if you woke up tomorrow and you were in EQ2, it would be probably a big shift for you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't really get to go outside and beat up on Gnolls when I'm feeling rambunctious. But anyways, like I said, it kind of reminds me of EQ2, but at one point, one of the characters had made an alt way back, way back in the beginning when the game he was in first came out, but he never played her. Well, somehow she came to life, and now she's looking for him because she wants to punch him in the face. He made her a vampire, and she has to travel across continents, and she doesn't do well in sunlight, so she's kind of pissed off with him for picking such a stupid subclass. I don't know why it's a subclass and not a race, but whatever. I always thought that was kind of funny. Anyways, beach. Not much to say about, you know, the coast. It's the coast. You know, have you ever been to the beach? Well, there you go. You got rocks. You got, you know, wandering dervishes and such. You come up here. Like I said, that was a druid ring. There are no wizard spires in this zone though. So yeah. Here we have this tower. It's called the Spectre Tower for reasons that I'm not entirely sure of. I mean, it probably has nothing to do with these guys. Hey, look, there's a dude here. Hi, dude. And then there's another one. This little oasis area over here is a nice place for gathering. Man, watch out for the cats, obviously, but you know, you've got timber, shrubs, there will be dens, there will be roots, fish in the stream. If you need rocks and ore, that'll be over in these caves over here. But yeah, there is a named cat that spawns over there. It's an albino prowler, I think it's called. Why don't I just look on the map? Because I need to find where I am on the map. Here I am. An albino prowler. Hey. Somewhere, I think it's up here, there is a little instant zone that you can, yeah, there it is. It's a little instant zone that you can go into, the hidden cache. I don't think it's a, was it a heroic zone? I think it was a solo zone. Might be heroic, but I think it was solo. It's just a small little zone. It's really just like a little grotto inside a cave. Very small. You deal with some dervishes, and I think there's some goblins and stuff in there. Get some treasure. Not much to say about it, honestly. It's just one of those things to do if you're looking for a little challenge. There's also like you'll see a little genie's lamp sitting somewhere out here. It moves around. It takes you inside the genie's lamp, and you fight the stuff inside. Dotted throughout the landscape are these little camps. This is the Oasis of Mar. As you can see, there's just some NPCs. They'll give you quests and stuff. There's Jumba and Dura and Raj. Kamar, Dervish Animal Trainer. But what's really important about this place is what's behind it. The Croc Caves. Crocodiles, lots of crocodiles. Like I said, this is a place to find stone and ore. You gotta be careful though, because sometimes these have a tendency to sink into the ground a little bit, so you won't see the entire node. Node, Metal Gear fans, not nerd. If you get that reference, then kudos to you. And if you don't get that reference, well, then you're probably better off. See, here's some ore. Up ahead, there is a raid zone, Lockjaw's lair. It's on the other side of this water. It's a rock in the wall over here somewhere? Over there? No, I think it's over here. Ah, there it is. Lockjaw's lair. I believe there are two. I believe there's Lockjaw's lair, which is the raid zone, and then I think there's a heroic zone, which is... I don't remember the name. I could be wrong on that, though. It's been years since I've done that zone. Someone wants to kill Trakenon. Now, why would you want to kill Trakenon? Just because he's an asshole. Spoilers, Trakenon's an asshole. Yeah, but this is the cave system. If you keep going that way, it comes out... Well, this little section up here leads to the coast. And this section leads to kind of close to where we first zoned in. Well, I mean, we didn't actually zone in because I was already in the zone when I started filming, but you know what I mean. The docks. Again, you come out and there's some rocks here, and if you go around them, behold, the Croc Hunter camp. This is where you get oops, no, this is where you get the carpet mount. That's what it looks like, by the way, that magic carpet floating there. It's a series of 4 or maybe 5 quests. I think it's 4, but it might be 5. You go do stuff for him, just, you know, running little errands, and eventually he gives you one of these as reward. Yay! Culminates with killing a djinn. The djinn's an asshole, although he has been nerfed into oblivion, so he's not that tough anymore. And if you want to gamble, there's the goblins. There are the docks right there. This first camp, just at the base of the docks, there are a series of quests that you can do that will garner favor for the courts of Majdul. There are, I want to say, 4 courts in the city, 3 of which you have direct interactions with. There's the Court of the Blades. They're kind of like the militia. There's the Court of Coins. They're obviously the merchant class. And then there's the Court of Truth, which are like the scholars and historians and whatnot. Then there's the 4th court, which is the Court of Tears. That's an assassin group, and they're not particularly friendly. In fact, they're kind of the villains of the city, if you will. The different guys out here will give you quests for the different factions. The thing is, when you do quests for one faction, you generally piss off the other 2. So, although you can balance that out, to start off with, you are going to have to choose a faction and go for it. You will be friendly. Like, for example, I started out with the Blades because I like the Blades storyline. I think of them as the good guys. That makes Coin and Truth hostile. Kill on sight. Their guards will attack you. And yes, their guards roam this city. They will attack you on sight, which can be a problem. But if you complete the ultimate quest line of the city, you can come out ahead with all of them. And hooray! You'll be the hero of Majdul. We'll talk more about that when we're in the city, but I just wanted to mention it now so you'd understand. Like, here are some blades. The dudes in blue are blades. There's also a group of blades that patrol along this highway here. If you look on the map there, that little crack, that's a path that leads up to the, well, it leads up there. And they walk up and down along the highway patrolling it. Again, ore, rocks, inside the caves and right along the base here. Now we're going to go this direction. This camp is more of the same. It's, that's just how it is. Not all of the quests are for the factions, though. So, just read it. It'll tell you if you're working for the factions or not. Some of them are just, regular quests. Okay, so you see that elevator going up? It takes you up to a dock, an air dock, because that is where the airship docks on this side of the Moors of Acacia run. It comes in, docks right here, you board, it takes off, and you eventually go to the Moors of Acacia. There was a big world event when they were building this, and, well, here's the launch dock. This was the first part of that world event. You did a bunch of quests around here for the dirty gnomes. DIRTY. I can't remember what it stands for, but it was an acronym. Oh, look, some stuff up there. Lots of undead, you'll notice. Decrepit ghouls. There's skeletons, mummies, specters. I mean, this undeath is a big theme here. Spiders and whatnot. So, rather than take you all across the desert and check out every single individual hot spot, there we go. Let's show. Okay, here's the dirty place that we just. Oops. Here's the dirty place we just came from. Wait, no, it's not. Ah, that's the Port of Tears. This is the dirty place. This is the second dirty place. This is also where Siphon is a named dune tarantula. Yeah, they're big spiders, so if you don't like tarantulas, that's not the place for you. See all these scarabs? There's a series of quests that you'll get from that little cleft I mentioned that wants you to herd them over here to... I can't remember what the purpose of it was, but you're basically herding them over here and having them fight these guys. Oh, that's right. You're letting the spiders kill them for you, so you can harvest intact their shells. Siphon is a named one of these guys. He used to be, or she used to be, a triple up, but is now just a single up. So, well, there's Siphon, level 49 single up. No big deal. Tarantula is a really fucking big one of these. It is a... Is it a times 4 raid? I think it's a times 4 raid, but it might only be a times 2. I don't remember. And this is also where some of that world event was taking place. There were quests around in here. They were looking for a crashed airship. And that's... Well, they found it. That's how we have our new airship up and running. Behold, let's go up a ways. The Twin Tiers. Remember the Twin Tiers? There they are. Well, one's on the other side of that dune. Over here. Okay. I'm going to find some undead cobras. Scorpions, by the way, are over on that side. These things, these columns, they're Ucky monsters. Here, I'll show you one. But only one. Except I killed... there we go. Big Ucky monsters disguised as columns. They're not particularly difficult, but I just thought I'd show you. Where is that hole? I think it's over here? No. Yeah, here it is. The Eye of a Nook. You can climb down this wall here. See, right there, the little dark path, and then you also can see the little climbing hooks. That leads you down to a little cave that comes out over here in the bay. Now, if you go out through that cave, well, you don't have to go down. You could just jump off the cliff, obviously. But if you go down over there, there's another cave. I am going to take you to that cave because, like Stormhold, there is a lovely zone attached to the Sinking Sands called the Silent City. It is a very important zone to the storyline. An ancient inscribed pillar. Interesting. Alright, so you come over here. Again, notice all these undead. Suldal. Suldal. There's also some Sulites in here. Anuk Sul, Sulite, Faronuk, Suldal. This is one of those later zones they added. That this is not the lamp I was talking about, although this is a lamp. And it does take you to a zone, but there's another lamp like this. Generally when I see it, it's out on this island here. In fact, well, yeah, there's a little green one right there. Azar's Penitence. Click the genie's lamp to enter. Usually I see it along the beach here. I don't know if it's always in the same place, though. I remember the first time I found it, it was more on this side. But anyways, this is the Silent City. We're not going to go inside, but we will eventually. Make no mistake. That's kind of like the main story zone of the Sinking Sands. The Shimmering Citadel is also a main story zone, but game plot wise, this one is of more importance. Again, I'll talk more about it when we do Match Duel, because that's when it will become more important. More relevant, I should say. See, there's that cave where you come out from that hole over there, and then again the Twin Tiers are right over here. So Let's go over this way towards that big mountain where Majdul is hanging out. You can just barely, well, I can just barely make out the dock there. I don't know if you can even see it on a YouTube screen. Anyways, Lizardmen. These are the We Fear Zilla tribe. See? Aliz, Rafe, Ooh. We Fear Zilla. Remember I mentioned that in the Fearot one? Just read it backwards. Sometimes I get my names that way. Sometimes. Other times I get my names that way, but then I also scramble the letters as well. Yeah, I like anagrams. They're fun. Giants. Used to be a lot of giants, not as many anymore. But there are a lot of orcs over here because on this side of the map is where you will find the Clefts of Rujark. There are two entrances. One's right there, and then one's down over this way. This is the highway I mentioned that the Blades patrol. They patrol down over there. This highway is patrolled by orcs galore. Orcs galore. Rujarkian orcs. It's called the Orc Highway. I cannot for the life of me imagine why. But yeah, if you go down that way, you'll come to the Cluster of Rujark, which is an Orca stronghold. It's a group zone. It's solo on the first floor, and then as you go up it gets harder and harder until it eventually does have raid mobs in there. And some of them are actually pretty damn tough. Or at least the last time I tried it, which admittedly was a couple of years ago, but they sent us packing. Well, there were two of us, so that could have been part of the problem. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it to try. Here is a carpet person. Show you the carpet. This is the Undercity Arena. Twin tiers, porta tiers, one rock aisle, Camp de Sass. This area, as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the outline. That is the Pillars of Flame. And you can get there from here. There's a path just right over there. There's a path right there. There's a path right there. And then up here there's also a path. So there's plenty of ways to zone in. No Druid Ring, no Wizard Spire. Our Druid Ring, however, is right here. But again, no Wizard Spire. What more is there to say? The Undercity Arena is right over here. Again, this is, if you keep going straight this way, that takes you, that stuff right there is the Pillars of Flame. There are a ton of Cyclopses on that side. Pillars of Flame, well, we'll talk more about it when we actually go there, but yeah, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like the mirror of this. This one's mostly sand with some rock. That one's mostly rock with some sand. And it's, you know, Pillars of Flame because of the reddish color. Here's the Undercity Arena. Hey! Orcs fight. Dervish pit fighters fight. I mean, it's an arena. They don't care what your faction is. They just want to beat the hell out of each other. Because, hey, why not, right? So, yeah. Last but not least, there is one last place I want to show you. It's over by the Twin Tiers, so what we are going to do is take this carpet. Actually, no, we're not, because there is something along the way I'd like to show you. Again, cobras, undead cobras over there. There's a name on there, too. I don't remember what its name is, but there is a name that spawns there. That's the Lizardman oasis. This little thing sticking out of the ground takes you to the Scriptorium, I think it was called. Sanctorium, okay, the Sanctorium. That's a little instant zone. I believe it was a solo instant zone, although there might be... I do know that the Chrono Magi has a task for that every now and then. Ooh, a Noxious Lacerator. That's a big scorpion. Scorpions are kind of weird looking, but kind of cool looking too. There is also a name that sometimes spawns on this rock called the Brood Matriarch. Or maybe... Where's she on this side? No, I think it was... Yeah, it's that rock. The one behind me. So, this is the Gnoll oasis. Notice the scorpion. Oh, I'm not scorpion. What is my thing with scorpions? Notice the cobra head. That is how you get to the living tombs. There are some quests in there. It's a city that's been entombed. It's filled with undead, and it is how you gain access to the sinking sands. although you don't have to do access quests anymore. But you know, if you want to do things the legit way, then that's how you do it. You got to go through there and get access. This little thing here, there are some specters that spawn and will circle around it. You kill them and a name spawns and you can take them down. A markable object. This body right here, well, you can't right now, but if it's clickable, you can get a collection from it. This one right here, in fact. The Tale of Terraza, page 10. So it's one of those book collections I mentioned. Oh, here's some mummies. Like I said, lots of gnolls around here. But the main thing, I don't know if this is still the case. I do not know if this is still the case, but, hey look, it's meat hooks. Anashti Sul's avatar used to spawn on that hill right there. You'd always be able to tell if she was up because there would be a ton of void brutes standing around. Again, more undead over there. Desert raptors up the ass, and meat hooks, who is no longer just a heroic. Notice he is an epic ×3. Now he used to be an epic ×3, and then they nerfed him and made him just into a regular heroic. Still triple up, but just a regular heroic. But it's been a couple of years since I've seen him last, so apparently someone decided to give him a magic mushroom because he is an epic ×3 again. You can always tell when he's up because it'll be a half-eaten giant. These guys are usually around a half-eaten gnolls. See? So if you see a half-eaten giant off in the distance, meat hooks up. He's not that tough. He really isn't that tough. He drops some okay stuff, but again, gear and stuff has changed so much that, yeah, it's good for transmuting, and it might be temporarily good for a low-level alt, but it won't stay very good. By the way, probably yet another collectible from this camp right here. I mean, this tent right here. Yeah, some goblins. More goblins up and down along here, and then you got the scorpions and then Camp Desass. Camp Desass is that collection of tents right in front of us that we're going to go check it out. See, little zone in right there, another zone in right here. This zone in by Camp Desass takes you to another camp. The Swift Rider Caravan Camp. It's an NPC camp. This one takes you to a section that's inhabited by goblins. So, yeah. That's why there are so many zone-ins. They take you to different degrees of danger, I suppose you could call it. Oh, and last but not least, these repeatable quests. I think this guy gives you plushies. So, if you're into plushies, this guy gives you some, like, raptor plushies or a scorpion plushie. I can't remember. I remember you got a plushie of one of the creatures out on the desert, so cool stuff. But yeah, anyways, that's been the Sinking Sands. Again, there's the Sanctorium, there's Lockjaw's Lair, there's the Hidden Cache, there's the Silent City, the Living Tombs, that one, what was it called? So-and-so's Penitence. There's the Clefts of Rujark, Scornfeather's Ruse. I mean, there are a ton of instances off of these two zones, Pillars of Fire and Sinking Sands. There's also Maj'Dul itself. Even though it's a city, it's still kind of an adventure zone because there are things that will attack you, most notably the guards. There's the Shimmering Citadel up in the sky, which you can't see because this very inconsiderate cliff is in the way. But I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here, and we'll talk more about it next time when we visit something. I don't know what it will be, but I'm sure inspiration will strike. So, I'm the Angry Ice Cube, this is Misty, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Laters all.